right. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our Beatles special. We're just going to have a little small tribute, a small tribute to the Beatles. I am from, I guess, the baby boom generation where the Beatles had a great effect on us baby boomers. I was born in 1960. The Beatles were already trying to get established by that time. But I remember them clearly growing up as a child, and then into my teenage years, of course, and even to now. Okay. Just to give a little information, I mean, I remember being on the beach in Long Island and WABC radio playing "I Want to Hold Your Hand." Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Please Please Me and all those other songs that they sang, which were iconic. And if you think about it, a lot of their songs were only like maybe at that time under 3 minutes, half of them, or more than half of them. And they had such a great effect. They were always on the billboards, always on the charts, and it was incredible. And I could go into a little further, but we have Bella Rubinton. She's going to be singing some Beatles songs for us. Okay. We also have a great, probably one of the number one Beatle fans with us, Helene Witt, who was there actually almost touching the Beatles. Yes, that's right. Also we have Bonnie Scalisi, and she's going to be on after Bella. We're going to talk about their food. We're going to talk about them and everything else. We have Ann Rothney watching. Hello, Ann. Everything is okay. We're gonna see what happened to Bella. Bella was just on. We're gonna tell her to go. Oh wait, she's back. Okay, great. So Bella is back. We're gonna bring Bella on right now. Okay, hold on. Bella, how are you?
Can you hear me?
Everything all right?
I'm good. How are you? Yeah.
Good. Well, Bella, I know you're not from the baby boom generation, that's for sure. You're a millennial, right? Correct?
That is correct.
Just like my son. So, Bella, you're on. Would you like to sing some songs? Can you sing some songs right now where you are?
Fingers crossed the connection continues to work with us. So I guess I'll start with Let It Be.
Yeah, no problem. You're coming on nice and clear, so don't worry. You're clear. The sound is good. Go right ahead. Let's hear some Beatles tunes. Go ahead.
1 minute. Let me just.
Then you can tell us about yourself. Go ahead.
Sure. Sorry, my music's my back music's.
Bella, no problem. Take your time.
Hold on, 1 minute.
Yeah, take your time. While you're doing that, I'm going to explain a little bit more about the Beatles, okay? Like I said, I grew up with the Beatles, basically. My mom, if you could see a little picture up in the corner, used to dress me like the Beatles. If you notice the suit I'm wearing when I'm 5, that's it. Just let me know when you're ready to go, Bella.
I should be ready to go. We have the audio connected through an aux cord in a car, so fingers crossed.
Okay. So we got Bella, the traveling Beatle.
Let's go with that. Sure. All right. Here we go. So the first one will be Let It Be.
Okay.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be.
Okay. I think we're having some technical difficulty, maybe. Okay, Bella, I think we're having some technical difficulty, maybe with your internet, but that's okay because when you're ready, you could come back on again. All right, Bella? All right, great. All right, there you go.
Shine into tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Oh, there will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Oh, there will be, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be.
Very nice, Bella. You have a nice voice.
Thank you. So that was the first one.
Okay, great. We had a slight technical difficulty. You kind of froze a little bit, but it worked out great. Thank you. It was fine. Go right ahead.
All right, so the next one, I think we're going to go with Yesterday. So let me just get the lyrics. There we are, Yesterday. I mean, I know the lyrics, but I need the music. That's what I meant to say.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, here we go. Yesterday. All my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Suddenly, I'm not half of who I used to be. There's a shadow hanging over me. Oh, yesterday came suddenly. Why she had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't say. I said for yesterday. Yesterday. Love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Why she had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't say. I said something wrong, now I long for yesterday. Yesterday. Love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday.
Hey, very good, Bella. I like it.
Yeah.
One day we're going to have you come on again and sing something that, other types of tunes. That would be great. Okay, you got any more?
That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
So is it okay if we do 2 more? Would that be okay?
Yeah. Do as many as you want, Bella. Yeah, do as many as you want. That was very good. Very nice.
So the last one I'm going to do is going to be Blackbird, and then my roommate is going to sing Octopus's Garden. Does that sound good?
Oh, great. Yeah, that'd be great. Excellent.
All right, let's do that. Hold on, let me just get Blackbird karaoke. Here we go. Because I will attempt to sing along with Octopus's Garden. I do not know it well enough to sing it for the most part. So we're going to do Blackbird
That's okay.
first. Here we go. Just singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly. Blackbird fly into the light of the dark black night. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of the dark black night. Dead of night, take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise.
All right.
All right, so now the last one is going to be Octopus's Garden.
Yeah.
All right. That's
So
great.
Here we go. We're just pulling into a parking spot, so I'm just killing time for 2 seconds so we cannot be in a moving car anymore.
Yay.
We'll
Yeah,
be in a
no
stop car,
problem.
and then we'll go inside for the rest of the podcast.
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right.
So
Octopus's
so
Garden.
I'm gonna turn the camera
Okay,
a little
go
bit.
ahead.
This is Tom. He also
Hi.
does comedy in Maryland.
Hey, how are
So I'm
you?
doing this for Maryland.
Yep. How
Okay.
good? How are you?
So we're
I'm
going
good.
to attempt Octopus's Garden.
All right. Yeah, that's a great song. It's a great party song, too. I love it.
Sure.
Great way to end it.
Okay, sorry. We just need to restart it and
Okay,
start it
there you
playing automatically.
I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden in the shade. let us stay where we've been. There's garden with me. I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden in the shade. We would be warm below the storm in a little hideaway beneath the waves, resting our head on the seabed in an octopus's garden near a cave. We would sing and dance around because we know we can't be found. I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden in the shade. We would shout and swim about the coral that lies beneath the waves. Oh, girl and boy, knowing they're happy and they're safe. We would be so happy, you and me. No one there to tell us what to do. I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden with an octopus garden with you. In an octopus's garden with you.
All right.
There we go.
Yay! Now we're gonna get out of the car.
Great idea.
Okay, guys. Bella,
Hello?
you want to tell us a little bit what's going on with you? Are you going to be
We did our
appearing
best.
anywhere?
Trying. Oh well.
Okay. Hello, Felix?
Yeah. You want to tell us a little bit what's going on with you? Are you going to be appearing anywhere? Are you going to be doing anything?
Well, the rule of this podcast is that we can only promote things if there are governors, right?
No, it's okay. Not this particular one because we're not, you can say whatever you want. It's fine.
Okay, so so I am producing 2 November shows. My November 17th show is going to be up in Staten Island called Bella Beans, and my November 25th show is going to be at Valencia Tavern in Huntington. Tom, do you have any gigs coming up?
No, yeah, I'm at Sissimo's. I'm at the Lou Room in Baltimore on November 17th.
And he's at Sissimo's at the Lou Room in Baltimore, Maryland on November 17th.
Oh, okay, great. All right.
I'm asking my cat does my cat have any gigs coming up there?
I don't think your cat has any gigs.
Probably not. Sure.
Okay, so yeah, that's everything we have coming up.
All right, great. All right, Bella. Well, thanks for coming on.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, really appreciate it. And next time we'll have you do some other types of tunes too. All right.
That sounds great.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, that was Bella. I guess, if you had to think about it, when you're in the car and a Beatles tune comes on, you want to sing it. Everybody wants to sing it. I mean, I still know the words to a lot of their songs, like I want to hold your hand. And when I touch you, I feel happy inside. It's such a feeling that my love, I can't hide. I can't hide. You see what I mean? Everybody knows the words, especially if you grew up in that generation. It's great. All right. So that was Bella. It was cute, and she really does have a good voice. So if we have her next time, we'll keep her out of the car and we'll have her sing. But she did a great job, and we appreciate it, what she did. So thank you, Bella, and your friend. I believe his name was Tom, right? Correct, Bella and Tom. All right, so now we're going to bring on the infamous Bonnie Scalisi, and we're going to talk about the Beatles, and we're going to talk about some of the food that the Beatles ate too. But first, we're going to bring Bonnie on. Hello, Bonnie. How are you?
Hi, Felix. That's a tough act to follow.
That is a tough act to follow, Bonnie, without a doubt. But doesn't it remind you when you were a kid and you'd hear a Beatles song and you want to sing it while you're riding in the car and everything?
I still listen to Beatles songs. And
You
sing
still
them.
do, right?
Yeah,
Right.
I hate music, like almost all of it. I like old music.
Yeah, I do too. And I always listen to the Beatles. They were my favorite. One of my favorites. I like the Beach Boys and of course the Rolling Stones too.
Oh yeah, Stones definitely. I like
So-
all stuff.
Yeah. So when you hear it, you can't help but singing. But my wife tells me to shut up because she doesn't like how I sing. Like this morning, I was all
sound better than we do.
like this morning, I woke up and I was all psyched about this special, and I started singing some Beatles tunes, and she said, "Please, it's Sunday morning. I don't really want to hear it." So there you go. All right, Bonnie. So we're going to have you, talk about your Beatles and your memorabilia. So go right ahead.
I have a bunch of stuff to show. And I have, some interesting experiences. I actually lived in England. I did my student teaching in England. So I was teaching 5-year-olds that were dressed in uniforms. And I actually had their cuisine in England. And I was a huge Beatle fan even then. I started collecting this stuff, I would say, when I was all through high school. I would go to Beatle conventions. I bought some of it there. Back then there was no online stuff. It was very rare. You had to go in person to buy these things. So what really made me sad is when I was looking for the stuff for this show, it's just in my basement collecting dust. And I feel bad that people who, like Helene, who's going to be next, has a dedicated place to actually show it off. And mine is just in a box collecting dust. So I took it out and I'm going to show you what I have. And if anybody's interested in buying it, I'm willing to sell it because I'd rather it have a home where people are displaying it than it sits in my basement. So are you ready to go on a tour of my memorabilia?
Let's do it.
Okay. So on my table, I've got this. Can you see it? I've got a Beatle clock.
Wow.
And, it actually still works. You set the alarm and this loud thing comes up. Then I have this. It says Beatle memorabilia, original limited reprint, selling for up to $5,000. I don't even, I bought it so long ago. It's in this. It's in the case. I haven't even taken it out of the case.
You're gonna have to talk to Helene about that one. She probably would know.
And then I have like Beatle comic books. They was doing Octopus's Garden, but I have I don't know if you can see this, the cutouts from the Yellow Submarine.
Yeah, sure.
And, there was a whole movie on that. And you know what? The characters from Yellow Submarine were kind of hideous and scary looking. I think they were on acid when they did this, actually. But
you never know.
I've got like these kind of postcards that you have. And I have envelopes and Beatle stamps. That's John, Paul, Ringo, and George. And then I have this thing. It is a. It's got their pretend signatures on there, and then it tells about the Beatles, and it's like a day planner. It's got some photos in there of them. So this is really old. I'm not even. That's original. This is a Paul McCartney change purse. I think it's Paul McCartney. I think somebody was saying that he was left-handed, and I thought it was John. I don't know.
No,
but it's one of the Beatles.
Yeah, Paul McCartney was left-handed, so that's
so I think it's Paul McCartney. I don't know if you play the bass and that's when you're left hand. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the famous guitar he always plays. Yes.
Yeah, and then this is another Beatles change purse. Again, this is original. Then some of this is like remade stuff. This is really very heavy. It's a tray that has, their names and their signatures on it. So you could serve cocktails in that.
That's
And
right.
back in the day, I don't know if they still had book covers for when you were in high school, but
Right.
this was a book cover that you would put on your books.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I don't have the full set, but these are Beatle rings that you turn it one way, it says their name, you turn it the other way, it has a picture of them. I am missing
ones, yeah.
I'm missing
cool.
one of them. I don't have the full set, but I do have a full set of pencils. So here's a pencil, and it says nickname the Quiet Beatle, birthday July 7th, 1914. Instrument played drums. So obviously that's Ringo.
1914? That can't be true.
Wait, let me say. Maybe I read it wrong. 1940. Sorry.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, he'd be really old.
Yeah.
Then this one says nickname just a Beatle. Birthday February 25th, 1943. Instrument played lead guitar, and that is George Harrison.
Yes, lead guitar.
Then we have a nickname the Bouncy Beatle. Birthday June 18th, 1942. Instrument played bass guitar, and that's obviously Paul McCartney.
Yes.
And then the last one is nicknamed the Sexy Beatle. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Birthday October 9th, 1940. Instrument played rhythm guitar, and that obviously is John Lennon.
Yes.
And then I have a whole bunch of this is a Beatle coin. It's very heavy. If I want it both times,
hold it up a little. Yeah, hold it up a little better because I can't see it.
How's that? There's two sides to it.
A little more. You got to hold it higher.
Like that?
That's it. Yep. Okay.
And both sides. And then I have all these buttons. I have two buttons. These are original buttons that, again, you hold it one way and it shows the band. You hold it the other way, it shows their face. So that one is Ringo. This one is John Lennon.
Okay.
This one says all of them. I like the Beatles. It's got all their names in it.
Okay.
Those were originals. And then the rest of these, this is an original. And then the rest of them, I just bought at conventions. I think they're remakes. So I'll just scan them. Here's Paul McCartney. And then John Lennon, listen to this button. Abbey Road. Okay, this was a Beatle patch that back then, when your jeans ripped, you didn't leave them like today. You used to put patches on them. So this was
gotta lift it up higher. Go up a little higher. Yeah, that's it. All right.
Beatle patch.
All right.
And this is a remake of a Beatles watch.
Okay.
That you could wear. And then I have a bunch of books. There's a ton of books in here, but I took out some of the books to show you some photos. Can you see this photo?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to show you a couple of the photos that I thought were interesting. Here's one of Paul.
Right.
And John. And of course, A Hard Day's Night.
Yeah, that's a famous one.
And then this one, they're in the car. Bella was just singing in the car. Here they are in the car. Look at Paul's face. He's like, oh.
It's probably like girls screaming or something like that.
Oh yeah, they're probably trying to get in. They wanted to get in. Here they are swimming in the water in a pool.
Yeah, that's a famous shot too. Yeah.
And here's John Lennon sitting in bed having a cigarette in striped pajamas. And as you know, they a lot of people didn't even listen to their music. They just spent the whole time screaming through the whole thing. And then you got to when they stopped touring as much and they started getting into this phase.
Right. Yeah. Magic.
This, I love this shot. This is
nice.
Mick Jagger, a young Mick Jagger. And,
right.
John
Lennon.
Yeah, wow. I love that photo. And then I'll just show you one more from this book. Last one on this book, and of the famous Abbey Road, which
Yeah.
of course I visited. Everybody visited there, walks across the road, and then takes their photo. And then in this book, this is Linda McCartney's book. She has a lot of personal photos of her
Right.
family, but she took these photos. His wife, who died of breast cancer.
Yes.
And I love these ones. That's him in his house studio. And that's the, I could go on all day and show you stuff. And then I have in my living room, I laid these out. I've got this big banner. It's huge, of the Beatles. I just put it on the chair. Can you see it? It's
Yes,
really big.
I
Like if I put my
Yeah.
hand, you can see how big it is.
What is that again? I'm sorry.
It's a banner. Like you
Oh, a
hang it
banner.
up on the wall.
Right.
It's
Okay,
huge.
great.
And then I made this. I made this when I was in high school. If you hold it up, the sunlight comes through it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it, but I've got the Beatles over here,
That's pretty neat.
and then over here, this was the Sgt. Pepper era. It
Yeah.
looks better when the sun is shining through it.
Yeah,
And
right.
here they are again. I can't really do it justice, but
It's like a sun catcher kind of thing.
yes. I don't even it's so old that I don't even remember making it. That's how old it is. I know that I drew it and painted it and everything.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
gotta
my
say, Bonnie. Yeah, that's your collection. I gotta say, Bonnie, I'm very impressed by that collection.
and there's more in the basement. If I was busy last night, I would have found more stuff, but this is what I
Wow.
found last minute. I have more.
Well, I'm impressed with that, but I think Helene probably will beat you
Helene
in that.
blow me away.
Yeah.
This is just a little tiny little tidbit. When you get to Helene, she's the real collector. Like she really
The
is-
real deal.
Hang on, because you're going to be amazed at the stuff that Helene has. It's
Great.
for a sneak peek, and it's a wet dream for Beatle lovers. Let's put it that way. So
Well-
you have told me to make some food
That's right.
that John Lennon and Paul McCartney like to eat. So I have here, I have Kellogg's cornflakes,
Right.
and I got a clear bowl, and maybe well, I don't know. People already know which Beatle did which Beatle likes what.
Right. Well, we know that what you're doing is John Lennon's favorite breakfast right now.
My favorite breakfast, believe it or not, was Kellogg's cornflakes, which I believe is an American breakfast. So you just pour it, and he just had it the old-fashioned way. He added milk. So let me get out the milk. This is a recipe I can handle.
That's right. That's why I gave it to you. I figured you'd be able to do it.
Kellogg's cornflakes and milk. So you got
There
the
you
milk
go.
here.
That's what his favorite breakfast was.
You pour it in the milk.
Now, with all their money, you would think they'd have an extravagant breakfast or whatever, but they didn't. Most of them became vegetarians later on in the early 70s and late 60s.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I
In fact,
I said I was in England, and
Right.
I tasted a lot of the cuisine there, and I was not impressed.
No.
Well, so
why don't you show the bowl a little better? Let's see it. There you go. That was it. That's the John Lennon breakfast. That tea and toast he'd have also with that, and probably some curry jelly too as well. What happened? We lost Bonnie. All right. Well, we lost Bonnie. We'll talk a little more about the food of the Beatles. Paul McCartney became a vegetarian in 1975, mostly because of his wife, too. Prior to that, Paul was a beef kind of guy. He liked roast beef. He liked all different types of foods. The Beatles, actually, before they became vegetarians, would eat steak. They'd have spaghetti. They'd have fish and chips, eggs, of course. Now, remember, folks, that they grew up in Liverpool, which was a very poor economic area. And at the time, a very working class area. So their food was pretty common, and that's what they grew up on. And when you grow up on that food, that's what you crave. You crave all different things. We got Bonnie back.
I don't know what
Bonnie,
happened. Did I press something?
It's okay, Bonnie. No problem. I was just talking more about the food that they have.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I don't know what maybe I pressed the button. I don't know.
It's okay. Before we go into Paul McCartney favorite foods, just to mention that most of them became vegetarians at the end. At the end of them splitting up. George Harrison did a lot of. I'm not really clearly sure of his diet, but he did a lot of like food probably from India. Because he was into all that.
Right. They were into the Dalai Lama. And
right. Kind of... And Ringo Starr, who looks great. He's probably the best looking Beatle now at this time. He's still alive. Yeah, he's a vegetarian, and he swears by eating broccoli and blueberries. And blueberries. That's most of his diet. That's what he has. And
I'd rather live shorter and have more fun foods.
Right.
But you know what?
Right. Going back to John.
That's what's good for them.
Right. Going back to John Lennon.
Yes.
His favorite dessert was Bird's pudding, which Bird's is a brand. I don't know if you experienced that brand in England, but they made a custard and they canned it and they made it into a powder form. And that's what John Lennon loved for dessert.
Well, as
when he was a kid.
A lot of the foods that they serve. I was in a mansion in Bishop Stortford, which is like Long Island to London.
Right.
That's where we stayed, and then we were driven to the schools to teach.
Right.
And the food that they served us was very, very fattening. It was a lot of starches. So when you told me to make Paul McCartney's favorite lunch, a part of me was appalled at it, but part of me was like, yeah, this is the kind of stuff that they eat over.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Because they had fish and chips and
all fried stuff, all like, not very healthy stuff. I think I gained like 20 pounds when I came back from that student teaching.
Could be.
Yeah, between the food and there was no time to exercise. So do you want me to make Paul's?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay, so Paul likes to take toast. So I'm going to put it in the toaster.
Okay.
The old-fashioned toaster.
Watch your glass there. Ooh.
I like mine, not that.
That's your bullet. You got to make your drinks with that.
That's not mine. That's my daughter's. I don't eat anything out of the bullet. And then inside, I actually made these French fries last night in the oven. So now I'm just going to heat them up in the microwave.
Now remember, they're not French fries; they're chips. That's what they call them.
They call French fries chips, but they're really French fries. That's what we call them here in the States. Right. Yes, in England they call them chips. So I'm going to put about this many. I don't know how many he used, but I'm going to make them so that they're not freezing cold.
Okay.
Put them in the microwave while the toast is toasting.
Okay.
And I think I'll give it like 15 seconds.
Okay.
And then we were discussing that he likes to have ketchup on it, correct?
Ketchup or
mayonnaise.
Whatever was available. Yes.
Since I don't have mayonnaise, I will go with the ketchup.
Okay.
And what he did was, when the toast comes out, you're going to see what he did. I have not tasted. See, it's all steamy. The French fries are steaming, and
I mean, it's not far off from what other people eat. I mean,
it's missing a protein.
Yeah, like
there's no protein in there.
Growing up as an Italian, we'd have omelet form with the potato in it, and we'd have it as a sandwich, with some mustard only. But that's what we would do.
But it had eggs in it?
Yes, it was like an omelet with eggs, potatoes and eggs.
Yeah, but the eggs is the protein.
Right, exactly.
Toast? Okay, so the toast just came up. This is just toast.
Right, with the
and
chips.
French fries.
Right.
All right, so this is what he did. You put the French fries.
Try and get the camera on that. Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. And then ketchup.
Right.
All right, here comes the ketchup.
Sometimes he would butter the toast too, believe it or not.
Oh my God. I'm more of a heart attack on a plate.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm gonna attempt to cut this.
Okay.
Hold on a second. All right. I have not ever tried this, so should I try it?
Yes, go right ahead. It can't hurt you. I mean, it's everything you
it's
like.
French fry. It's chips in toast. All right, here
Right.
we go.
They called it chip buddies.
Now I've got something on the screen. Can you see me?
Yes, I can.
Because there's something on here. I'm afraid to touch it. I can't even see myself. This is really, I don't know what's going on with this today. All right, here it is.
Right.
Taste this thing.
They call that a chip buddy. Chip buddies. That's what
you know what? It's actually not bad.
Not bad, right? There you go.
I mean, I love French fries. I love toast. You put it together. And
there you go.
Not bad.
There you go. See?
I don't think
great.
the Heart Association would recommend it, but you know, and that's basically my contribution to the Beatles show today.
There you go.
The Beatles. There's a reason that people still listen to them today. Their music transcends time. The lyrics meant things then. They still apply today. And I've always been a Beatles fan. I love the Beatles. Thank you, Felix, for having me on.
You're welcome. But you're going to stick around for trivia, right?
Sure. I might have Brandon with me.
That's okay.
Yeah. Okay. I will stick around for trivia.
Right. It's going to be you and Helene. We're going to see who's going to win.
Okay.
Right.
Sounds good. She will win because she's the expert, but I'll give it a shot.
All right. Well, before we go, let's just acknowledge some people. Ann Rothney, of course, is saying to you, great collection. Ann. Great collection there. Elizabeth Scher. Hi, Felix and Bonnie. Say hello to Elizabeth.
Hi, Elizabeth.
And Rubina from the Philippines.
Hi, Rubina.
And we have Hazel May Cruz, who's a friend of mine. And she goes live every once in a while.
Hi, Hazel.
Yeah, she's in West Virginia, actually. So, all right. And Robert T. Johnson, who does the Montoro Coffee, and he used to be a sponsor for us.
Oh, cool. Hi, Robert.
Yeah. So we got that. And I think that's it for now. We got some other people. But all right. So, Bonnie, I'm going to remove you a little bit.
Okay. Bye.
And I'm going to show everybody what the Beatles had when they did their recording sessions. Actually, let's do it right now. The Beatles, what they had during the recording sessions and with the let's say press conferences, they had what they called the tea sandwiches because they're British, right, Bonnie? And they would have tea and tea sandwiches. So here's a salad one.
There's something up in front of half of my screen.
Oh, okay.
And for some reason, I've got a funeral home and StreamYard blocking you.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what I touched or what I did.
Right.
I can only see myself.
Okay, so I'm going to remove you. Maybe it'll go away. All right.
Okay. Well,
all right.
All right. Bye.
Stick around for trivia. All right. Okay. Bye. Okay, so like I said, they would have tea sandwiches, which are right over here. Okay, I have an egg salad. I have little triangles of egg salad right there. Okay. And then I have a ham, Dijon, and cheese tea sandwich. I'm going to have that for lunch. But this is, very British. This is what they have during recording sessions. Okay. Very simple food. Again, well, fancy, I guess, if you call it tea sandwiches. And then, obviously, I have my tea to go along with it. I have some nice green tea here to go with my sandwich, which I'm going to eat when we bring Helene up while she's showing her merchandise. Okay, we're going to bring Helene on now. Let's see if she's ready. Helene,
hi.
How are you?
That was amazing. Hi.
That was quite a collection Bonnie had, no?
Oh my God, I'm drooling. I'm dying. I want her to sell it to me. Like you said, I was so impressed.
Yes.
I told her to come to the Beetle Fest and sell that stuff at the auction if she needs the money. Oh my goodness. But
right?
even separate from the valuable ones, They were such precious items.
Right. And Bonnie told me about your collection, and I was amazed. So we're very fortunate here for us to see it. So I'm going to give the floor to you, and then we could talk about the Beatles and do the trivia. Okay.
And I have to say, you are adorable with the cute little picture that you put up that your mother dressed you like that, and just
Just
your sharing of your love. And I don't know you very well, but you are such a heartfelt sweetie pie. And I'm sorry your wife didn't like
thank
you
you.
singing today. Tell
No,
her there's somebody who would have appreciated it.
yeah, well, that's exactly my
Oh,
mother. My mother was always in style. She liked the Beatles, so she used to dress me up in the Beatle suits.
so cute. It's
And then
precious.
when I got older, she put me in a little Nehru jacket and stuff like that, like the
Oh,
Beatles used to, like George Harrison would wear. And you know, my parents, were from the World War II generation, and my aunts and uncles. And one New Year's Eve party, I remember four of my uncles coming out with the Beatle wig on, right,
oh,
and imitating the Beatles. It was
how
incredible.
cute is that? It's
So every
precious.
generation loved them. And one more story, my sister, she was older than me. Um, she probably is like around your age, I would think. Not that you're older, you're a little older than me slightly. And
Yeah.
her and her friends would imitate the Beatles on one of the neighbors' porches, and they
Oh,
stuck me as Ringo. I'll never forget. I was a little kid,
aw,
and I had to take the drumsticks and play with them and everything else. And they would play
so
the
cute.
record, and they would imitate the Beatles and stuff. So I'm going to let you
So
go now.
adorable.
I'm going to let you go and show your collection, folks. This is going to be an
Okay.
amazing collection. Please pay attention. All right,
My
there you go.
house isn't as neat as Bonnie's, but this is my beetle room. I don't have but two bedrooms. I don't have a whole house like Bonnie. But do you want me? I guess I'll say a few things about some significant items. That's what I'll do. So
Yeah.
up there, where you see Pete Best's autograph up here, up at the top right there, that is a Astrid Kirchner like sign, not signed, but it's numbered. So Astrid Kirchner was the one who she passed away. She was the first photographer to put the Beatles in those leather suits. That's how the story goes, right? Or else, yeah, it
Uh
was
huh.
Brian Epstein that put them in the gray suit. See, as good as I am, I don't know everything the way you two do. So anyway, Astrid was their first photographer, and she had a boyfriend who was in the Beatles. He was 22 when he died, sadly, Stuart Sutcliffe. So that's numbered, and that's one of my the things that I cherish the most. This underneath it is an outshoot. What do they call that? An off take, outshoot. Anyway, an outtake of the famous Meat Butcher cover album. So it's a different pose. I walked around Central Park with John and Paul, and I brought some of
Really?
those pictures here because that's really my proudest thing because I walked around Central Park with them, and that's my nose. So you know that, some of my stories are true because there they are posing on the bench. And Paul McCartney has one of my pictures in his new lyrics book, my
Really?
picture that I took of them at Central Park. Another thing that I have that I'm proud of is let me show you. Okay. This is this. Anyway, there
Exactly. Right.
is okay. I have a brick from when the day John met Paul from that church. It's not from the day John met Paul. They were selling the bricks from that church. It's
Right.
called a Fete, Fete. And I went on the anniversary of it because every year they have, just like they had the day the Beatles performed. So they were selling the bricks from that building. And that's like a proclamation proving that that's the place where John met Paul. And I have a brick that they sold, reasonably from the day John met Paul. And to me, that's so significant. I have another Beatle friend who's going to go see Paul in Brazil. She goes all over the world. She's hardcore more than me, Bonnie. But
Wow.
anyway, she loves going to Abbey Road and seeing where they getting a tour of Abbey Road, seeing where they first recorded. To me, going to the place where they met or going to their homes. I also had the tour of John's home and Paul's home, and you could go by Ringo's home and George's home in Liverpool too. But going to those homes to me is more significant. So every Beatle fan has a different special moment. So those are some. This over here, this green framed thing, it's signed by Klaus Vormann. Klaus Vormann comes to the Beatle Fest. He made the cover of Revolver and he played music with them. So
Wow.
that's signed by him. And I had a John and Yoko autograph and I sold it at the Beatle Fest because my friend who I went to England with, Jude, her name's Jude, she needed the money. So it's just a, not just, but it was a 45 and we took it everywhere we moved to. And eventually, who knows what would have happened to it? And she needed the money. Who knew that somebody would buy it for $3,000 and then you give the
Wow.
house a couple of bucks? But
Wow.
yeah, $3,000. See that record up there? It's like that. It's a 45, but it
Right.
was just signed John Yoko, and we took it everywhere we moved to. And I just said, you know what? Somebody really wants this. Dude needs the money, so I sold it. But that's the kind of money you get for Beatle autographs, for example. And I have friends who had all four Beatles because when I went to England, which I didn't even say yet, I went to Abbey Road after I met them in Central Park. We stood at Abbey Road and they autograph things every day. They'd come in and out, in and out. So I saw them every day. I had some pictures here rather than move you around on a laptop.
Yeah, that'd
This
be
is the
great.
one I told you is in Paul's book. It's John and Paul and Magic Alex, who made music with them, electronic music, and their manager, Neil Aspinall, who died. And
Now,
that's, of course,
you
it's
took
my
you took that picture? You took that
I,
picture.
yeah, I took it and it ended up in Paul's book. So
Wow.
that's a whole story for another
Yes.
day. This was taken that day. We hid in a closet to find out that they'd be in Central Park. Um, we hid in the closet and you could hear that story on YouTube. It's called Helene, Wit, John, Paul. And I tell the story. It's a motivational speech about how I blew out my candles at my 16th birthday and I dreamt I'd meet the Beatles, to the moment that we walked around Central Park and I eavesdropped in a closet and I had brought a salami sandwich on rye bread and we hid in a half closet. It was a linen closet, but a half closet. By 10 a.m., I ate the sandwich already, and we ended up finding out where they'd be. And it's a very very special every day. I'm thankful that on May 12th, 1968, that I met them that day, and I have friends I'm still friends with, like that girl I told you about,
Yes.
who goes still to see Paul. So this was taken that day too. And this, when I got to England, Jude and I would stand outside Paul's house every day because it wasn't like Beatlemania, and he would walk to Abbey Road. It's right near his house. So
Right.
here he said he needed a camera to go to Sardinia with Francesca Hilton and his cousin and another girl. And Jude sold him her Instamatic camera for $14. He said it
Get
didn't work
out
on
of
the
here.
trip.
Really? That's incredible.
I know. It's credible that he charged us exactly what it cost us, $14, which, he's the richest man in the world, but that's another story. These are my English friends when we go to Liverpool, that's Strawberry Fields. Just to show you we're still friends with these people. And the friends I met at Abbey Road, I'm still friends with them. And this, Paul was on Letterman, and we
Yes.
all go to not all always, but we're grown up and we sometimes try to go see Paul if he's in New York, like walking in and out a stage door. You could wait 12 hours. Well, he performed on that marquee at Ed Sullivan's studio that day. So I stood across the street. So I sat down on the pavement with everyone else and just took pictures with my Zoom camera that day. So it shows you then and now kind of thing. And this is funny. It's Yellow Submarine bubblegum. Like
You know
Bonnie
what?
has old things. I have Elvis bubblegum in the wrapper. Don't you think it would be worth a lot because the gum is still in there from Elvis from the 50s? No. If you go to eBay, it's not even worth a lot. It's sitting there with gum in the wrapper. Give me a break.
Wow.
It should be worth something. And this is when we went to England and stood there every day. That's John singing to me. He sang,
Out of here,
it
really?
sounds like, yeah, but let me tell you what he was singing, and then you'll say, "Oh, not that wonderful." Here's what happened. We'd go every day, and I said, "John, you're going to be on David Frost tomorrow, and we don't have a TV, and we're staying at a youth hostel, so I'd have to watch it in the street, like watch it." They had TVs,
Right.
selling TVs in like a Zenith type store, and the TV was on, but you couldn't hear it. So here I am whining to John Lennon that I can't watch him on David Frost because I'm staying in the youth hostel. Like he could care less. So what he sang to me spontaneously was, "Every time I hear a newborn baby cry." So really it was insulting, but it was funny that he's singing to me and I happen to have a picture of it. So
Wow.
when people say, "Wow, John sang to me," it wasn't a romantic situation. He was
Right.
teasing me. And this is every day because I'm a comedian now. Every day I tried to say something funny to impress him. And Yoko showed up on the scene after Central Park, which was May 12th.
Right.
It might have been a different day because May 12th, 1968 happened to not be the day that the other girls say it happened, but it doesn't matter. But when we got to England, we took a student ship, and it turned out Yoko was there, which who knew that was going to happen. So I'll just tell you one other story, and then you could talk. Yoko said, "How did you know where we'd be today?" And I said, "Excuse me, I knew where John was every day of my life from my
Wow.
bedroom in Elmont, Long Island.
Oh,
And now that I'm in England, do you think I wouldn't know where he was every day? Like, what the hell are you talking about?" But, oh, sorry, but that's you get what my point was, I think.
so I'm assuming John Lennon, was he your favorite?
Yeah, still is.
Yeah. Oh, I always liked George Harrison. I don't know why, but
Yeah, I respect that, of course. My
yeah,
friend Kathy loves George.
right. And you know what's amazing, that George and John, well, they had tragedy with people. Obviously, John got assassinated. But George, didn't someone come in his house and stab him?
Yes,
That right?
yeah. And I heard when he got to the hospital, I just heard Eric Idle from just yes, you know how you see cool things online. Eric
Yeah.
Idle said that when George got to the hospital and these workers had just gone on duty, he said, "How's work so far today?" or something like jovial like that after he was stabbed.
Yeah. Well, they had a way about them. I mean, they were kids that came from Liverpool, and I don't think fame really did anything to them. They pretty much were the same, probably. Acted the same as they did back then. Very very cool, oriented, nice sense of humor. I mean, that's my impression. So,
Yes. And
how do you?
Paul still is amazing, isn't he, when he's interviewed? Like he said, what gives him joy is hearing someone tell him, "Oh, I had cancer in the hospital and I listened to your music and I felt better," things like that. He's
Yeah,
so amazing.
yeah, and I like Ringo looks fantastic. I think. I mean, Paul
Yeah,
looks
he
good.
does jumping. I went to see him 3 times. He does jumping jacks. He's tiny and he's fit. He wears a like sweatpants.
Uh huh.
Yep, he looks fantastic.
Yeah, he's the oldest Beatle too. I think, right?
I know, and you're right, and he looks fantastic. I appreciate you and Bonnie having me on like this.
No problem. We're gonna have you verse Bonnie in Beatle trivia, but my money's on you though. So,
Well, believe it or not, Bonnie lived in England, and I'm
uh,
not, I find this about men and women Beatle fans. You ready? The men know the dates of things and who sang on what record. I find because I go to the Beatle trivia at the Beatle Fest, and the
right.
girls know things like who was John, which Ronette did John go with? Wait a minute, how could he go with someone he was married?
Right,
Things
right.
like that.
Well, we share a mutual friend, right? Tony Walker, who is like one of the kings of the Beatles trivia. You know?
Love him. Yes, he knew more than I did. That's a good example of some man who knew a lot of Beatles stuff.
Yeah.
And Will
All right.
Sharon, the two of them. Wow.
Oh, Will Sharon too. Yeah, that's amazing. All right. Well, we're gonna bring Bonnie on, right now. Bonnie, are you ready?
I'm
Are
ready.
you ready for some Beatles trivia?
Yes. And
Ronnie, I
I
have to bribe you to get some of your cool Beatles stuff. I was so impressed, blown
Yes.
away by your collection. I had no idea when I said you're emptying out your father's house. I said, "Do you have any Beatle things by any chance?" Who knew what you had right in the house I was in? If
yeah,
I knew that, I
my
would have tied you up in the garage and stole all your cool stuff.
yeah,
My,
that's in my basement. But
yeah.
I just have a quick story. You were telling about all your experiences, actually with them. I never actually met any of them, but I knew from a friend that John Lennon and Yoko Ono owned a house in Laurel Hollow, and my friend Anne lives in that area. So I went and with a guy who is in a band called Full House, and we actually went along the water on other people's private property. We could have been killed. We could have been hit by, mauled by a dog, and
Right.
he actually went into the house and put his CD out on there with a note to John Lennon, and I waited outside because I was like, well, I knew I was doing the wrong thing, but we were trespassing. So, I don't know if he ever got CD or whatever, but that guy still tells the story. Joe Scolo from the band Full House. It's a Long Island band, still plays around. But when I was a teenager, I took them there, and we were hoping that they would be home, but no one was home. So he broke and entered. I didn't. But anyway,
Wait,
that's the closest I came to.
the police are calling right now. They want to know. They're after you guys. So
I never even knew about that house. So good for you, better Beatle fan. You get that point.
The statute of limitations has run out.
that's right. There you go. Wow, that's incredible. I'll tell you, my favorite body was the comic book and the tray. The tray with the Beatles on it. That was a good one.
That tray up here and serve martinis on it.
Yeah. Their favorite drink. Let's see if Helene knows. It's scotch. They used to drink scotch.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, me
I like
too.
that wrapped up magazine that's worth $2,600. I would take that to the Beatle Fest.
Oh yeah.
I haven't been to a Beatle convention since high school.
I'll say this to everybody, Felix. There's going to be the 60th anniversary. Guess where it's going to be? The new hotel at JFK. It's going to be awesome.
Really?
They bring extra people, like the Beatle fan lady who made a movie. The Beatle touring guide came last time at the 50th. It'll be great. It's going to be right at JFK. You can commute every day.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
At the new hotel.
Was in New Jersey. For me, New Jersey is
right. Before we start Beatles trivia, everyone should know that, Helene, you are a comedian, just like Bonnie.
I like that term, comedian, better than just comic or comedian.
I heard Milton Berle say that. Well, that's how I learned about it, because he said that, I think of Marilyn Michaels. Remember Marilyn Michaels?
Sure, I know her personally.
Oh, do you? Okay, yeah. I used to have a crush on Marilyn Michaels when they used to do the Copycats. Remember that show? And he said that, Marilyn Michaels was a comedian. And he said that's what you call a female comedian, a comedian.
So even actresses don't say they're actresses anymore. They say actor.
No, actors, right. You want to tell us, you got anything cooking, anything going on, Helene?
Sure. On my birthday, November 4th, I'll be in Manhattan it's called now I'm going to forget the name of it. How crazy is that? Anyway, on my birthday, November 4th is a show at 9 p.m. on 2nd Avenue in a restaurant.
Okay.
Pangea.
Oh, okay. I have to catch your act later on sometime. I'd like to see it. I'm sure you're very good.
To treat you to a show.
Yeah. Bonnie, have you ever seen Helene?
I can really relate to her comedy because I'm a teacher. I was a teacher. I'm retired. She's a retired teacher. So I love her jokes because I can really relate to them.
Relate to it.
So funny.
Great.
And I'm a little older than Bonnie, so I talk about wrinkles. She hasn't reached the wrinkle age yet.
Is that true, Bonnie? I don't know. Are you in the wrinkles stage yet?
51 years old, so
Okay.
you start wrinkling at like 40.
Okay. All right, ladies, are you ready? It's just 10 questions. I may have a
Before
bonus.
you do, I have to say, if you have to ask someone if they have wrinkles, it means they don't because you didn't see any.
That's right. Very
Well,
good.
So,
Yes.
I'm waiting for my first gray hair. I don't have any gray hair.
That's young. That's young.
I have some gray hair here
Okay,
on
I'm
my
sorry,
beard, but
Felix. I had to get my wisecrack in.
that's okay. That's cool. That's what this is about. So no problem. All right, ladies, you ready for question number 1?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm tired young, I'll tell you. No
All
gray
right.
hair yet.
Here we go. What was the last song John Lennon played in front of a live audience?
Hey Jude.
No.
Oh, John. You said John, right?
Yes. What was the last song he sang in front of a live audience?
Imagine.
No, both wrong.
I think that's how this is going to go. We're both going to not know the answers of any
Maybe
of the
I'll
questions.
give you guys 2 questions and then you decide, 2 answers and you decide. But the song was "I Saw Her Standing There," an old one.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
About like their songs, like I can't answer any of those. Like Helene said, I know more relationship type things.
Helene, where was his last concert? Do you know?
I want to say I was there, but I might be wrong, at the Garden with Yoko when they made up.
Oh, okay. That could be true. So that's where he sang the song. Yeah. All right. Ready? Next one. I think Helene's going to get this one, by the way.
Okay.
What Beatles song was written for Mia Farrow, the actress's sister?
Bonnie, try first.
Yeah, let Bonnie try first.
I have no idea.
You don't know? Okay, Helene, who was it?
Dear Prudence.
Exactly. Very good.
Oh, I know the song, but I had no idea.
Yes. I actually heard the story. Mia Farrow was on David Letterman, I believe. And she said that they, because David said, "Oh, I heard you guys used to hang out with the Beatles and everything." And then she said, "Yeah, they wrote that song, Dear Prudence, about my sister and everything." So
cool.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm learning. I see him.
Yeah.
And I'm saying I'm not an expert.
All right. I got 2 questions from the movie Help that the Beatles made. Okay. And I know Helene's going to get this. Bonnie, I'm not too sure, but Helene will definitely get it. Okay. From the movie Help, the first question: who was shrunken down in the movie Help? They shrunk him into a little tiny person.
The old man?
No.
Damn.
That's Hard Day's Night. You're so cute, Bonnie.
Oh, right. You know what, Helene? We were talking about the difference between Hard Day's Night and Help.
Right.
Yeah.
One was in color, one was black and white.
You're right.
See, Bonnie was studying then to be a good teacher. She was doing the right thing that day.
Hard Day's Night was the only movie in black and white that they made. So
yeah, I should.
So who do we got? Which Beatle? You got 4 possibilities. Who was shrunken down? And if I remember correctly, didn't he have like a gum wrapper he used around himself or something? Right?
Yes.
I never saw the movie Help, honestly.
I saw it. We were on vacation, a family vacation, and my parents took me and my sister to see it in the movie theater there.
I'm gonna guess
cute little stories.
Yes. So
who do you, Bonnie? Guess which Beatles, since it's 4. Just guess.
I'm gonna guess George.
I'm gonna. Oh, you said George. Okay, so that was your answer. Okay, Helene.
Guessing.
Paul.
Yes, correct. Helene got it again.
I have no life.
There you go. All right.
Bonnie was raising a family, finishing college so she could retire at half the age most of us do.
I retired.
She's no gray hair, no wrinkles. She retired young.
Okay.
I retired at 5. If you consider that young, okay.
Yeah, it is actually. Nowadays, people wait till 70 before they do anything.
Well, that's not good.
Or if you're like me, you get on, you get disability because your legs give out, and then I guess I was about 55 when that happened too. Yeah.
But I started working right out of college, so I was
Right.
I subbed for half a year. So I
Uh-huh.
started working at 22, and I worked straight through from 22 to 55.
Wow.
God bless you. And
Thank
while you had your
school.
children and your children needed care and you
Yeah.
still taught, and I give her so much credit for that.
Bonnie, I always call her Saint Bonnie because of what she goes
Me
through.
too.
Thank
God
you.
bless her.
All right. Second question for the movie Help. Ready? Where do the Beatles travel to escape the cult?
I have no idea. I don't think I saw the movie Help.
Well, rent it. Well, not rent it, but go on Netflix or something. It should be on there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch
I
it.
have a copy of VHS I could lend you.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay, do you want to guess, Bonnie? Pick a place someone would
All
escape
right.
to.
It's in Europe, okay? And there's a lot of mountains, Bonnie. There.
Sweden.
No, not close. Elaine, would you like to?
I
I
thought
didn't
you
do
meant
well.
when they went to the tropical place.
No, it was in the movie. I guess they went to this particular place.
Yes, they did. It's where Ticket to Ride was playing, and they were on the ski lift, Bonnie. But they also went to a place where they swam it, and it was like the Bermuda and Bahamas. Remember?
Could be. I don't remember
Felix?
that part, but I do remember this part. Yes.
Okay.
I think I never saw Help. I've only seen A Hard Day's Night, which is
It's fun.
I my memory is terrible. That's the thing that has escaped me. Is my memory.
Right. Well, what I like about the movie Help was more sophisticated as they got into their, I guess, into their celebrities or whatever. But it was a really well done movie, don't you think, Helene? I liked it. It was good. Okay, so where did they go from the cult? You said skiing, so where would that be in Europe?
Are you asking me? I don't know.
Well, I'm asking Helene now because
She
I
guessed.
guessed wrong.
I have to say, I could picture it. Germany,
well, close. It was
Austria,
well, yeah. They went to the Alps. They went to the Alps
The
to
Swiss Alps.
Switzerland, Swiss Alps.
right. Well, I think the Alps are all over, like touching a lot of different countries. So, but they went to the Alps. What I liked about Help was they had a lot of good music, a lot of their tunes and everything that they did. It was really good. And
if you have a VHS, I'll bring it over.
yeah,
We're going to your house.
Yeah,
soon.
yeah. My
okay.
son loves VHS tapes. So
You'll be
Yeah,
sorry. I'll
definitely.
bring every VHS of every Beatle movie, every anthology. You'll be sorry you asked.
Well, all right, Helene, this is not a trivia question, but what was the last Beatle movie made?
Oh, Magical Mystery.
rooftop.
Go ahead, Bonnie. Let Bonnie go.
The one on the rooftop. Where they were singing on top of the roof.
Right.
What's the name of that movie? I have a terrible memory.
It was Let It Be. That was their best movie, which I didn't even know was a movie. So
yeah, it's a
okay.
movie.
Ready? Here we go.
Yes.
This is a regular Beatles question, not a Help movie question. Ready? What is the first Beatles song where George Harrison plays his sitar? You know, that Indian guitar?
Yeah. It was like after the Sgt. Pepper phase.
I don't know. I think Helene knows because she's smiling. So.
Well, I'm smiling because it's funny how you said I don't know. And it was funny how Bonnie said what she said. That's why I'm laughing. But let Bonnie say a name.
Of a song?
Think about a Beatles song that had the sitar in it.
Sunshine, something with the he sings about Here Comes the Sun.
No, that's not right.
It doesn't have a sitar. Norwegian Wood
came way before that. Before that song.
Is it Norwegian Wood?
Yes, it is. Helene is correct. That's right. One of my favorite Beatles songs. I love that song.
I love that song too.
Isn't it good? Norwegian Wood.
There's a guitar in there.
Yeah, it was in there. Definitely you could tell the sitar was in there. And that was the first time he played it. Yep. All right. Next question. We're up to number 6, so I won't torture you much longer.
I've
Okay.
got one right so far.
This one I'm sure Helene will get to. What was the name of the Beatles' popular haircut?
Oh God. The bob?
Close. That's not bad. It's not bad. It kind of rhymes with that word, but yeah. Do you know, Helene?
Top.
Yes, the mop top.
That's right.
That's what they called it, the mop top. All right. All right.
Bonnie has a change purse with a mop top on it.
Yes, that's right.
That is so cool. Oh my God.
Okay, here you go. Number 7. Okay. Which Beatles song had the most number of weeks on the charts?
What's their first song? Shoot, what's the name of that song? Hold Your Hand. Hold Your Hand?
Nope, not quite. Actually, Helene was mentioning that name quite a bit in her tour.
Was? I was mentioning the name of the song that was on the top.
You were mentioning one of the words in the song or in the title.
Wait. No, I was gonna say She Loves You, but I don't remember saying it.
Nope. The song was Hey Jude. Didn't you say you have a friend named Jude that you were mentioning?
I think I said Hey Jude.
Bonnie said Hey Jude.
Did you say Hey Jude? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
You did.
That's right. That's it. Well, that was the song. And if you think about it, yeah, that really probably was on the charts quite a bit.
I know that Paul McCartney wrote that song, Helen, correct me if I'm wrong, for John Lennon's son because he was going through a divorce. He was divorcing John's mother.
And he meant Hey Jules. Julian. Yeah.
So
it came out to Hey Jude. Okay.
That's the kind
So why don't you give Bonnie a point for knowing that piece
I
of
will.
trivia?
I'm going to give you a point for that, Bonnie.
I don't know.
Helene is way ahead, but you definitely, I'll give it to
God,
you.
you're making me feel really. She has that change purse and that magazine that's not open.
There you go.
I opened every magazine and put them in the scrapbook and cut up every picture. She kept it intact. That's amazing.
Bonnie.
I was a teenager in my house in Syosset. I had the walls covered. Every single space on the wall had a picture because
Really?
back then that's what we didn't have the internet. So I put tape on that was my wallpaper, was all different things of the Beatles.
Mine was wrestling. I had Bruno Sammartino and Chief Jake Strongbone all over my room. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I miss those days.
Why don't you have a wrestling show? Why don't you have a wrestling show?
Maybe I will. I'm not a big wrestling fan now, but my son is, and my wife, believe it or not, is a very big wrestling fan. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. They all the chicks dig him.
I bet Bonnie's a fan of him too.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But getting back to the songs, the song Julia that John Lennon sings about his mother. Mm-hmm. That's the only song where there was only one Beatle in the recording studio, and it was John Lennon, right?
Wow.
Lane? Yeah. All right, ready? That number 8. We're almost done.
How about yesterday? Wasn't that just Paul?
That's what I was gonna say.
I don't know, but there might have been other people in the studio though when he did it. I don't know. That's a good question, though. Okay, number 8. Patty Boyd married which Beatle? I know Helene knows this one.
Harrison.
Who?
George Harrison.
Okay, Helene, how about you?
Yes, and I have a picture of her from the Beatle Fest. Here she is.
Both right. That's
She
right.
still goes.
Personal questions, we know.
I knew she'd get that one. Yes, you are both right. Patty Boyd married George Harrison.
And
but
he cheat with she cheated with somebody.
No.
Eric Clapton.
Wait, well, I thought that was Layla. Where did Layla? Tell me, Helene, where does Layla come into play then?
Oh, Wonderful Tonight. That was about her.
Oh, that was her. That was her song. Okay.
No,
Oh.
something was George's song to her too.
Oh, okay. Because I thought Layla was George Harrison's wife or girlfriend, right? And Eric Clapton, kind of, stole her from him.
Well, he said, "Could I have her?"
Right. That's good. I mean, I'd like to do that with a couple of my friends. Out there, right?
Oh, you're gonna be on the couch tonight.
Yeah. Well, luckily, my wife doesn't really watch my show, so that's good.
That's part of the problem.
It's okay because she would like to probably have some of my friends. So it's a swinging nation now.
Yeah.
All right. That was a good one. You both got it. I'm very happy and pleased at that. Okay, number 9. This is a good one, and I know Helene knows this one because, again, this is a personal thing. Ready? Known by his middle name only, what is Paul McCartney's first name? So Paul was not his first name.
I didn't know that.
Neither did I.
It's his son's name. His son who performs.
I didn't know he had a son.
Yeah, he performs. He plays guitar and sings.
Oh, I never knew that. I thought he just had 2 daughters, Stella and whatever.
No, his son went on TV and everything. He's a little on the spectrum. He doesn't communicate, but he plays and sings.
Really? So what?
Anyway, the answer, Bonnie?
I don't know.
James.
That's right. It's James Paul McCartney. Yes.
I know that Ringo was a very sick child.
Richard. Yes, he was sick. Richard.
Many times. And I you're talking about favorite Beatles. I like Ringo a lot because I play the drums. And one of the reasons that I took up the drums was I love watching Ringo, play with the Beatles. That was one of the reasons I took it.
I didn't know you played drums, Bonnie.
Yes.
Very good.
Richard Starkey, who is really Ringo.
Yes.
He had a lot of these really bad allergies. That's probably why he was sick. And that's why he couldn't eat certain foods too. He couldn't eat certain foods or anything. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay. And here we go. Number 10. And then we have a bonus question, which doesn't mean anything.
That's how I won.
Okay. In which German city did the Beatles perform many gigs from 1960 to 62? This is before they were famous.
Hamburg.
Okay. And what about you, Helene?
Yes, Hamburg. That's where I got, Astrid when I talked about Astrid and her.
Oh, okay. Very good. That is correct. That's right. Helene, was that when they were the Silver Beatles before they became the Beatles?
Perhaps that's when they had that boy,
Stuart
Sutcliffe with them, and they dressed in the leather, and then Brian put them in the gray suits.
Right. Yes, Brian taught them everything. Brian Epstein. What?
Pete Best was the undiscovered Beatle. He was the drummer before Ringo.
Right.
And what happened was Paul McCartney and John Lennon didn't like that he got so much attention because he was very attractive, and they ousted him.
Really?
And yep.
Is that true, Helene?
I'm sure
I didn't know that. I have a picture of him up here too.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's probably true. I mean, there's a lot of different things a lot of stories to Peter Best.
That's
Pete
what
Best.
I heard over.
Pete Best. That's right. In fact, George Harrison auditioned to John Lennon because George Harrison was a friend of Paul McCartney, I believe, and he was only like 15 years old.
Yep, they were
all young. They were all like under 18,
They were
so George Harrison was on top of, those double-decker buses in England. That's where he did the audition to be in the Beatles or the Quarrymen, maybe
from
at that
school,
time.
right?
Yeah, I think it was the Quarrymen at the time. That was it,
And that's when I went to that feat and I got that brick That's who they were when they first met, and that's where I got the brick from
And
the
do
church.
you know, Helene, the name Quarryman, where it comes from?
The school, and I have a sweatshirt from the
That's
school.
right. That's right.
Wow.
They're high school. That's right. They're high school. Quarryman High School, or whatever it was called.
Cool.
Wow.
Not
That's
high school. Quarry. Oh boy,
Quarry
you got me there.
something
I have the
school, right?
sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Quarry
That-
Bank. Quarry Bank School. Quarry
That's
Bank.
it. That's right. You're incredible, Helene. You know, I could probably talk to you for hours about the Beatles. That's incredible. That really is. Okay, this is the bonus question. How many of the Beatles, I thought this was a fascinating question. How many of the Beatles can read sheet music?
I would say at the beginning, I would say none of them.
Okay, how about you, Helene?
That's hard because Paul says he doesn't, but I've seen a video where he says it's a key of A, so I don't know. I'll say none also.
That's correct, everybody. I was surprised because I thought that at least John Lennon and Paul McCartney, because they wrote most of the songs, knew sheet music, but none of them knew it. None of them knew sheet music. That's it.
Goes to show you that you don't always have to follow in the path of what other people did. You do your
That's
own.
right.
And
Right.
people who follow other people and just copy, you know, one of many. Just do your own thing, and sometimes it just escalates
Right.
in a
Now,
good way.
Right. I found, okay, and Helene, I don't know if you would concur with this, but you could definitely tell the songs of John Lennon and Paul McCartney, like who wrote what. You know, like Paul McCartney was more peppy and more like pop kind of oriented, and John Lennon was more meaningful and different in the lyrics. You know, that's
I'm
just
gonna
my
say this.
observation.
I'd like to say this about that. Paul was all love, love, love. John was like run, feel life, cheating. If I
Help.
ever see you, yes, it's all that stuff.
He was
What,
like,
what do you think about George? I'm sorry. What do you think about George Harrison music? How would you analyze that?
Some of it's spiritual.
Yes, and there's
Hear me,
a lot.
Lord, my
Right.
sweet Lord.
Right. Okay.
Inner
Bonnie,
light.
you were gonna say something. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that John was more of the rebel, and Paul was more of the, like
Go with the whatever you have to do.
let's make happy by our music. But John wanted to like make a change,
Right.
And I think he, ironically enough, he was the one that was married before the Beatles became famous.
That's right, Cynthia Lennon.
He was to Cynthia Lennon, and so he was part of the establishment. He married someone, and he was like the most stable. If you look at his home life,
I don't know about that because he had a what? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Appearances wise, he wasn't stable because I know, Helene knows the whole history about how his mom, he really didn't have a mom growing up, and his mom was just somebody who came in and out of his life, and that really affected him.
Well,
had really difficult childhoods.
Well, his mother was hit by a drunk driver. That's how she died, believe it or not. And Paul McCartney's mother died too when he was young.
Yes, very young.
From cancer. Right. And
mother, that song was about his mother, Helene. Mother Mary Comes to Me. That's about his mother. People think it's about Mary, from he's talking about his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said so in a recent interview.
Right. Well, John Lennon actually had to marry Cynthia because she was pregnant with Julian at the time.
And that's another thing is Julian Lennon exactly like John. I mean, like I haven't seen him lately, but he sounds like John. He was exactly like John, and he could have parlayed himself into a really big position, but he just didn't want to.
Yeah, well,
he just
John Lennon's a tough act to follow, especially when he's your dad.
Like a clone of his dad.
Yeah,
so much like him. Sang like, and it
He really did. Yes.
That he didn't, but he just wanted to live his life. I guess he figured,
Well,
it wasn't important to him.
yeah, it's just the way it is. I mean, it's just he's a tough act to follow. I mean, the only one that, if you think about offspring of famous people like Michael Douglas, did a great job. I mean, he's probably surpassed his father and everything, things like that. I don't know, but yeah, I saw Julian Lennon recently on those reels on Facebook. I saw one where he was interviewed by that guy that does that political show on HBO, Bill Maher, I think it was. That's his name. And it was pretty interesting to hear what he said, about his dad and growing up, and apparently him and Sean Lennon are very friendly. I mean, they're brothers, and he does a lot with Sean,
That's cool.
So, yeah, it's pretty cool, So that's it. But anyway, so what was the other thing I was going to say? All right, we did the sheet music question. All right. I guess also closing with the Beatles, right? They started out as the Quarrymen. That they used to play with when they first started out. John Lennon and Paul McCartney were doing what they call skiffle music. Does that sound familiar, Bonnie, from England? Skiffle music?
Yeah.
Skiffle music is a combination of American influence music in folk.
They loved Elvis Presley.
Right. Folk, blues, rock, bluegrass, stuff like that,
Big influence to them.
Right. Well, a lot of the British invasion music is really kind of based on American, like bluegrass and things like that. Like the Stones love Muddy Waters. Muddy Waters. He was a big blues kind of guy, and they love that music. And if you listen to that music, there's definitely a lot of influence. So that's what skiffle is. And another thing is, the Beatles in the U.S. sold 1.6 billion singles in the U.S. Wow. That's a lot. And then 177 million albums they sold in the U.S. And then worldwide, they did 600 million albums worldwide. So that's pretty amazing stuff. My son is a big Beatles fan. He's 28 years old. So they keep going and they keep rocking, just like the Stones. The Stones keep rocking too.
Paul's in Australia and Brazil. He's 81 years old. He's touring.
Right. It's pretty incredible. So.
And Ringo's touring right now too.
Right. All right. I think Bonnie's leaving, right, Bonnie? Bonnie? All right. Bonnie is muted. Okay. Say goodbye to Bonnie. All right,
Bonnie. Thank you so much.
Thank
I'm so impressed by her collection.
And Elaine, thank you very much for coming on. I could probably sit here and talk about the Beatles forever.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Elizabeth Scher says hello, Elaine. Okay.
Yeah, my friend's trying to watch and he's cursing me out because I never told him how to get on.
Oh, and I guess Elizabeth likes the song "Please Please Me." That was one of their beginnings.
Me too, Elizabeth. Every time it comes on the Beatles station in the car, I love it. I love it.
My favorite is "Hide Your Love." Was that "Hide Your Love Away"? That's one of my.
Got to hide your love away.
That's it. That's the song I like. That was in Help. That was in the movie Help. Yes. So
so how can people watch this now that my friend's mad at me?
Okay, well, it is recorded, so it'll be on anytime you want to watch it. You could go onto YouTube under Chef Felix and Company, okay, and it's on there. I'm going to give this recording to Tony Walker, so it will be on Gov's Comedy Club podcasts on YouTube. It'll be on that, okay. It's also on Facebook on Let's Eat LI and on my Facebook, which is Felix Ristuccia, Ristuccia. So there's many places where you can watch it. if you have YouTube, go on YouTube. You'll see it there under Chef Felix and Company. Just look for the chef with the fork, and that's me. In fact, let me put the symbol on here. Let me see. Just look for that symbol up on the top there, and that's me, Chef Felix and
It's
Company.
adorable, and I love your hat too.
Thank
if I
you.
wore little caps, I'd buy one.
Yeah, no problem. We have mugs. We have whatever you guys want.
Buy
We can make
something
it.
from you.
We can make it. We could definitely make it.
You have
Amazon is a
t-shirts?
wonderful thing. Elizabeth says great show, and Rothney says thank you. And there's other people. We have a couple people from the Philippines watching.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? All right, Helene. So thank you. We went a little longer than expected, but that's what happens when you talk about the Beatles.
You're so cute. Thank you. You are adorable.
Oh, thank you, Helene. Thank you very much.
Charming,
I appreciate it.
sweet. And I hope your show goes far, and I'm going to make sure I get people to watch it.
All right, great. I'm actually going to start a new show. Maybe you'd like to be on that too. It's called Fed Up. So what's your beef? That's what we're going to do.
Wow. That's funny. When I was on with Bonnie cooking something, do you think anyone watched it?
Yeah, of course. I think so. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. All right. So, in fact, maybe I'll repeat it on the Facebooks. We'll do that. All right.
Yeah, and I'll show people.
Yeah.
I love it.
All
Okay,
right.
thank you so much.
You're
Do
welcome.
you want me to plug a movie I'm in?
Sure. That's incredible. Go ahead.
It's on YouTube, and it's called The Singles Retreat. It's a short little cute movie.
Oh, wow. All right. So
and I'm on Peacock. I'm in a movie called Good Timing. It shows Joan Rivers telling my joke.
Yes,
It's
that's
called
right.
Good Timing on Peacock. I'm proud of that.
That's right. Joan Rivers did say some of your jokes. You wrote to her and stuff. Yes.
But this is in the movie Good Timing. They show her telling the joke.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go, folks. That's Helene Witt. All right.
Thank you. Have a good Sunday with your family. Don't sing for your wife.
No, I won't. I want to live.
Don't sing for your supper.
Yeah, I want to live. So, well, I make supper, so she has no choice. All
That's
right.
right. You're the chef. Excuse me.
That's right.
Okay. Bye.
Take care.
That's funny. Bye.
Take care. Thank you. Okay, so that will conclude our show. Shout outs to everybody that was watching. And shout out to Rubina in the Philippines. Thank you for watching. Robert T. Johnson and Rothney, of course, who's one of our number one fans. And Hazel May Cruz. And Elizabeth Scher and Hazel May Cruz, too. Hazel May Cruz and Shine and Lucy. Mwah. Thank you very much. All right. That concludes our show. And we're going to say goodbye. So thank you very much. Thank you all. Take care. Thanks for watching. Yeah, like the Beatles say.